Hey, everybody. So this week, Archangel Raphael. Okay, so we know Raphael as the healer. Um, it's the archangel associated with the low back area, the backside of the navel. That center is known as Hod, or it's the Mingmen, and this is a center for transmutation. So Archangel Raphael is also associated with transmutation. It's also associated with balancing out the two sides of the brain, balancing out the mind. So because of this, not only is it an angel of healing, but it's a kind of a guide or an angel that you would use for the pursuit of enlightenment. Um, the angel of joy and miracles, guidance for relationships, protector of travelers. You know, an angel like this has more than just an impact on us. It's kind of angel that has an impact on the world or an area, things going on in difficulty. And I would say in these days and this day and time, like I like to use Raphael quite often when I'm, blessing areas in the world or blessing things that might have gone on, or if there's like a shooting or something. I do my little practices, but Raphael is always kind of in the mix. And the thing that I would say about Raphael, like, why is Raphael the healer? And it is about transmutation. It is kind of going back to that idea of how we talk about it in very simple form of, like, when there's some sort of dysregulation, you always bring it back to vagal tone. There's an agitation in the outside world, bring your body back to vagal tone. You have, some difficulty going on in your life, or you have emotions that are coming up, or whatever it is, always bring it back to vagal tone. And vagal tone is a way for light to come in the body, which means you're increasing soul contact. Just anytime more light comes in, it also means more soul energy is coming in. Same for intuition. The more that intuition gets stimulated, the more that soul energy is entering the mind and the body, right? So, with that, if we just look at it from a body point of view, there is vagal tone, which is, we have the action activity side of the nervous system, and then we have the rest and repair mode. Now, great archangel isn't something that we would evoke for, like, oh, the vagal tone's off of my body, like, you know, um, the thing with vagal tone is there's like levels or degrees. First there's just vagal function. Do you have the ability to even go into vagal tone? And then, you know, there's the balance between the two sides of the nervous system, so that the vagal tone and action and activity are working well enough to where they can kind of push and pull with each other and become a bit more balanced. And when they don't, that generates emotion. Then, there's the vagal tone itself, like digging deep where we're strengthening that part of our nervous system, and we're helping it to go into repair mode, reset mode, into, deep rest, like deep rest that kind of produces recovery rather than just, oh, I had a good night's sleep, right? And then even deeper is what you would call vagal anchoring. And this is when we've established enough vagal tone in the body, and we have calmed down the other side of the nervous system enough to where when the light comes in, either through vagal tone or intuition, it begins to mix with the elements, and it starts to do something very different in our body. Up to this point, when we have strong emotions or repetitive thoughts, those attract energy from the environment, the elements, right? And those thoughts and feelings and whatever might be instinctive responses kind of mix with the elements, and that concretizes in our body, right? When we have vagal anchoring, we're able to start concretizing spiritual energy with consciousness, soul energy, and we're beginning to concretize it into the body. So the anchoring means that the light not only has come into the body or not only has descended, right? But it also means that because it's mixing with elements, it's staying. Like you're anchoring the light in the body, right? So this is a much deeper level of vagal tone. Well, that's not the end of it. That's just, usually for shooting to heal most things, that usually covers the area. But then we come to this idea of an even deeper potential within accessing the light and the regulation of the action activity part of the nervous system. And I'd say past this, there's a thing called chronic vagal insufficiency syndrome, right? And it basically means that, you look at vagal function and vagal tone and balance and vagal anchoring, and you keep trying to bring these forth, but for whatever reason, the body is in such a degenerative state, usually through prolonged periods of chronic stress. Stress that can become trauma or the stress of trauma, right? But it's usually not like, oh, I got into a car accident. It's more like for 20 years I was around this person and I was always waiting for the shoe to drop and for there to be violence or it's usually really kind of hardcore kind of things, right? Now, the issue being that sometimes we inherit some of these like states or these neurological preconditions from the family, and sometimes we come in with it um, as part of like a karmic pattern, right? But basically, it just means that the body's ability to go into vagal tone and the body and mind's ability to go into intuition is severely compromised, right? And so the flip side of this is you could call this also a kind of survival dominance, like the mind and the body are in such survival mode that even when you touch the healing aspect, even when you bring light coming in, it's like it comes in and then it kind of floats away. And instead of being able to utilize this many units of light, we really only utilize about this much. Even though a tremendous amount of light comes in, it's not that it can't even stay. It's like the pipes can't handle the kind of light coming in. And this is again reflected usually like in kind of PTSD kind of things, really super chronic stress, super uh, survival dominant states. And the issue with survival dominance is we usually don't know that we're in survival dominance. We're in such survival mode, we kind of see everything through those eyes and we process everything through that way of thinking. And we don't really see anything else. It's just the way that we see things, and it's the way we act, and the way we feel, and the way we think. And we really don't notice it until we're starting to step out of it. And when you start to step out of it, you're like, oh, that was kind of crazy. Like, ugh. Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm stressed out. Oh, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's usually, um, this is what I'll say. You know how you have those little thoughts or feelings that keep coming up from old situations. Like, oh, that thing that kind of used to bother me, it just keeps coming up. And, you know, you might go a couple years without thinking about it, but oh, it pops up again, right? Um, a lot of times the reason why is we haven't been able to process that. We try to clean it up the best that we can, but sometimes our vagal tone can go deep enough. And part of why we're not processing some of these things is survival dominance. So this happens a lot with karmic issues. This can happen a lot with things that get handed down through the generations, because it's not just I need to process these things that happen to me. It's like you're kind of processing the effects that have gone down through some generations. So it's bigger than you, it's bigger than your life. You need to process it in ways that are bigger than what you would have a reference for. Same with a karmic issue. And so, like, in a way, this is tied very much into things where we get locked into like a kind of pattern. We get locked into this weird pattern that we're usually not very aware of, or we are aware of the little areas that pop up and, unhappy or miserable or whatever. But it's a bigger kind of theme that might be running through the life. And, like, kind of think of it as uh, like an influencer that comes in and affects like all that we touch and all that we do, and, you know, the quality of our life, right? And so part of the thing with Archangel Raphael is it's not just, oh, I feel better from the stress of this week. Yes, it can help with that. And it's not just like, oh, I had a difficult time, or, I went through a difficult event or something. It can help with that. But the potency of an angel like this is a lot more far reaching than even what our minds perceive. Like much, much, much greater than what our minds perceive. And so even the things that I'm talking about here, a lot of times you're not going to perceive them. You might have a little bit of an inkling, like, oh, yeah, there's something kind of there, but you don't really usually become aware of it until you start moving it or shifting it, or it starts to heal. And so for me, one of the ways that I handle this, I just assume that the things I can't see is a mess. Like there's the things that I can perceive, there's the things that I can process, there's the things that I can do healing on and direct my attention when I'm doing oils. But be it that it's the unconscious or just my scope of awareness is like a weak flashlight shining in the darkness that can only see a little bit, which is not too far from the truth, right? And so I would like to heal even the things that I can't see. When we see things and we're aware of something, we kind of have the immediate need. I would like this to feel better so that I feel better, right? But here, these things are usually issues that, for one, we don't perceive them. And even if we did perceive them, they would probably feel like it's like, I don't even know how to touch this. I don't even know how to go down this rabbit hole. And so, because of that, a lot of times it can kind of be a little bit of a blessing that we don't see it, because it might be debilitating. It might keep us from functioning in the world. So the thing that I would say with working with Archangel Raphael is yes, he that angel can work with all kinds of things in our normal life. But the thing that I want to emphasize is Archangel Raphael is much more capable than the things that we think we would like or want or whatever. There's so much more depth there. It can heal things that is beyond our mind. And so whenever I work with, one of the greater angels, I try to go, I'm just going to be as conductive as I can. And I hope that things get healed that I'm not even aware of because that flashlight's not that bright and the room is big and there's a lot of darkness in there. And so, which is just the unknown, right? So, working with Raphael is a way of breaking out of the suffering that can impact a life. And sometimes we get so used to it, we don't recognize it as suffering. It's just this is the way that it is. But when we look at it from the potential of the soul, ugh, but maybe it's something you got totally used to, you know. And so we're going to do a process that has a very deep um, effect on transmutation in the body, the emotions, and the mind, even things that you're unaware of in the unconscious. And so it's not too involved, but it is kind of a little bit technical. Okay, so first off, I'd say, get the oil blend ready, and we're going to do it both with toning and with the oil. There's regular and premium. Just check in to see how you feel. Okay, so first, let's just do the name. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat the name, going to tone the name, and just notice what happens to you. Roll. Full. Roll. Full. Roll. Roll. Okay, so we're going to use the oil and we're going to do the 4 quadrants, but we're only going to do the 4 quadrants from the knees down to our feet. So just the lower leg. So whatever, if you're using the regular Raphael or the premium, whichever one you're using, your awareness is on the left side from the knee down to the foot, the bottom of the foot. Your awareness is on the left side. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The area from your knees down to the tops of your feet, just that lower part, the knees to your feet. Then the right side, your lower leg from the right side, from the side of the knee, the right side of the knee, all the way down to the side of the foot on the right side. And then the back side, from the back of the knee all the way down to your heels. You're just doing your lower leg from the back side, back of your knees down to your heels. And then just pause and let go. Okay, I still like to kind of visualize that whole lower leg area, left, front, right, and back all at once. So do that if you can, and take some inhalations with your awareness on that lower area. Sometimes, if you have a hard time with it, just keep your awareness on the whole lower leg. And then just pause. You're pausing and letting go. But okay. Move your awareness to the kidneys. Your awareness is going to be on the kidneys. You're still on the kidneys. You're still taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Now, you're going to your back heart. Normally, we would go deeper into the heart and actually try to hit the permanent seed that's there. So you'd be going into the physical heart, but it's too hard to do right off the back, especially from the back side. So just keep your awareness between the shoulder blades, and you can just maybe move your awareness into the body, just like maybe an inch or two. Your awareness is on the back heart area. Hmm. Okay, now you're going to your ajna, the area between your ajna, or between your eyes. Between your ajna. So you are going to linger here for a little bit. This is kind of, as you go through and set this up, this is a little bit more of the more potent spot or the more important spot. So you're lingering on the ajna. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breath. You're still on the ajna. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Now, your awareness is on the ajna. You're going to your back throat, the middle of the back of your neck. And when you do this, close your eyes. Okay, just let it go for a little bit. Your eyes are closed. You're just letting it go. You're letting it incubate. Okay, so what you're doing here is you're training your physiology to basically transmute, right? To transmute deep levels of survival dominance, and you're helping increase the potential of vagal tone, vagal anchoring, whatever you want to call it. That whole vagal genre of things that goes on, you're increasing that. Now, just doing it once, you're not trying to chase a symptom. You're trying to like recalibrate the body, right? It's not about like, oh, I'm going to use this when this has happened. Usually when there is severe brain fatigue, when there's a chronic health issue, when the body is in a degenerative spiral and a life-threatening condition, these would be times. But for a spiritual practitioner, it's when you're trying to step up your game to the next level. When you're trying to break out of a pattern because you're becoming more and more aware of ugh, the things happening, the way that I do things in the world, or the things that have happened, or I keep having memories of all these just weird little things that have happened over the decades. It's a way to step things up a notch, right? So after you go through and you do this whole cycle and you come to the back throat, you let it go. You let it cook for maybe a minute or two. Then from there, you put your awareness on the spine, right? So put your awareness on the spine and inhale the oil. Your awareness is on the spine. And then just pause and let go. Okay, so that's a cycle, right? So you're going to put your awareness on your lower legs from your knees down to your feet, front, sides, and back all at the same time. Your awareness is just on the lower legs. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Now move your awareness to the kidneys. Your awareness is on the kidneys. Now move your awareness to the back heart, that area between the shoulder blades. Have your awareness go in a little bit deeper than just the surface, maybe just an inch or so. The area between your eyebrows, the ajna. You're still between the eyebrows. Your awareness is on the back throat, the middle of the back of your neck. Okay, you're just letting go. Your awareness is on the spine. You're just letting go. Your awareness is on the lower legs. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your kidneys. Your awareness is on the kidneys. Your awareness is between your shoulder blades. You're taking nice, slow, deep breaths. Your ajna, your awareness is on the ajna. Your awareness is between the eyebrows. And then the back throat, the middle of the back of your neck. Then you're just going to pause and let go. Your awareness is on your spine. You're inhaling, your awareness is on the spine. Now just pause and let go. Okay, we're still going to do a couple more. Like a lot of times when I do this myself, I do it probably at least 7 times. I usually do it more, but at least usually 7 if I'm going to do a little short session with this. So this is what I would say. If you think about what I was saying, like it's chronic vagal insufficiency syndrome, right? It's like you could call it a not a syndrome like you would get from your doctor, but like the inability to hold on to vagal tone, the inability to benefit from vagal tone, the inability to hold on to intuition or benefit from intuition. If you flip that and you go, okay, I've deepened my ability to hold on to vagal tone and to utilize vagal tone. Like I can take it and I can do more with it. Same with the intuitive mind or the light coming in. What that means is that the more that you do it, keep in mind that this is very good for dealing with something that's like maybe deep or in the unconscious, might be something that we've inherited from the generations prior, or it might be a karmic issue that we came in with, right? So, addressing these kinds of things, you want big guns, right? You don't want to like go, well, maybe if I improve vagal tone a little bit, you're shooting for something big because it's usually a big deal, a big issue. What you're doing is you're setting up the mechanics for your body to handle a tremendous amount of light or divine energy. Another way of saying that is you're setting up the mechanics for there to be a miracle. There's mechanics to miracles. You have to get the physiology in a place to where it can handle that downpouring. Because I mean, there's times where, like, even just normal healing, you do a healing on somebody and they're like, no effect, didn't feel anything, didn't feel any better. Maybe the first time they felt a little better, and then the second time, not feeling any better at all. That's usually chronic vagal insufficiency. It's being stuck in survival dominance. And so the body can't shift, the body can't heal, the emotions, the mind can't heal. They're stuck in this very deep, ingrained, repetitive cycle. Like you're just not able to break out of it. Hoping for something different usually doesn't come until they either are facing a chronic, a severe health issue that might be life threatening, or it's the end of their life and they're struggling to hold on to a little bit more time is when they can kind of see that, like, hey, this is maybe an issue. But even then, it's not that it's too late, but the way of thinking is so ingrained that you really can't get the person to a place to where they can benefit from it. You know, it's it doesn't matter even sometimes the things that have happened to you in your life. It's been more of this survival dominance throughout the whole life or a significant portion of the life. And it just doesn't allow for there to be divinity coming in, is like the best way that I could say it. And so for us to be able to heal, we have to be able to process some of that light, attune to the light, align to some of the light, be able to harness that light to a certain degree and have it shift us around, even though, it might be deep, it might be uncomfortable, it might make us sleepy for a week, but still it's like, oh, I want it to happen. And then sometimes when we're really deep in this ingrained pattern, even very simple things like the body just won't heal from these things. Like the body is just going to play out what it plays out. And so the more that you do these cycles, the more that you're increasing the body, the emotions, and the mind's ability to harness light. Like you're literally harnessing light the more that you can refine this, which means you can deeply heal. You can deeply heal not only internally, but how you interact with the outside world. Patterns that we maybe have inherited, be it karmically or from the family or whatever, you heal those things really before they even kind of come up and are in your face. If you look at the idea of what negative karma is, it's the lack of that. It's just simply the lack of being able to harness light. So then you gotta get smacked in the face and hit over the head and have things play out. And right. So the more that we go through and we keep kind of attuning the physiology to the potential of this downpouring of light that can happen. The deeper that we can heal, and the more depth of the things that we can heal. Right. So we're going to do one more cycle, and then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to do it some more. Okay. So again, your awareness is on your legs. You're inhaling the oil. Your awareness is on your legs. Your awareness is on your lower legs. Your awareness is on the kidneys. Your back heart, that area between your shoulder blades. Your awareness is between the shoulder blades. up to the ajna. Your awareness is on the ajna. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is between your eyebrows. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then your back throat, the middle of the back of your neck. Pause and be still. Your awareness is on the spine. Your awareness is on the spine. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And just pause and let go. I think that was what, 4 cycles? So usually I would do a couple more, but let's chat for a little bit. You can unmute yourself, type in. You want to do shares or questions? Go ahead and fire away.
Probably a good idea to chat before we're all completely knocked out. Someone is asking what is in this blend, and we do have the premium and the regular.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so first, the normal Raphael is Lang Lang, Myrtle, Cashmere Lavender, Cypress, Geranium, Lime Kaffir, St. John's Wort, Petitgrain, and Benzoin. And then the Archangel Raphael Premium is Angelica, Osmanthus, Melissa, St. John's wort, Kava Kava, and lemon myrtle.
And go ahead, Teresa.
Hey, hey.
Sorry, trying to find the unmute. That was super powerful.
Mm,
I'm always amazed at divine timing of things. Just before the meditation, a part of the pattern that's going or gone, there's still a little bit of
mm,
grit around not
mm.
belonging
Sure, sure.
and actually being in environments where people intentionally want to ensure you don't belong. Um,
It's a management style in corporate settings is to like when a lot of times I found over the years when people would go, my job is really stressful, and I would start asking questions about, give me examples. Really what they were saying is my job is filled with the threat of abandonment. It's like a way to kind of manage people, in their eyes, motivate people and punish people when you don't do what they want you to do. And
yeah.
so,
Yeah, there must be a continuum on experiences because the last one I had was off the charts. I felt like I went to war every day, and I had just had a talk with a former colleague before getting on the call, and it was perfect because I could. When we got to the spine, I just burst into tears, and hopefully, the management style has left my spine.
you know, a lot of it out there though. Like, I hope that you never have to experience it again. But, hopefully what happens is we get to a better place because it's in a lot of places.
uh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that felt good. It looks like you're looking at something. Is there anything you see?
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking like over the years, you know, I would say like back in the early 2000s, it was a very dominant management style. But like over the years, things have gotten a little bit more refined for some companies. So it depends. The management strategy came like kind of out of a particular place. And it kind of spread throughout, because it's a world market now. But there's enough different styles where hopefully it gets diminished, or you know there's companies that might not even take that strategy anymore, where in the early 2000s everybody was doing it. Yeah.
Interesting. Did that energy come from this plane?
Yeah, it came from a particular region in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I've worked through many different places in the world, like
Mhm.
geographically, globally, and global roles. And if I was gonna say the continuum of darkness at this endpoint, that's where I was last. And I know it's not about me, it is about the system and the style.
Yeah.
And that company, although always present here, had always had that style. They've actually gotten softer, believe it or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
it's
over a period of years, things do tend to get better in the world, even though sometimes when we look at it, it doesn't look like it in the here and now. But if
yeah,
you compare it to like, well, okay, what was happening 30 years ago or whatever, it's like, okay,
yeah,
it improved, maybe this much, but it's still, you know, but, you know,
yeah. Yeah. I think what the awareness was is still just hurt feelings coming out in my body
Of
going,
course.
"Oh my God,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah, yeah,
awful.
yeah.
We can't do that again."
Yeah. You know, and like for me sometimes
Oof.
like it will happen like in contemplations or after doing ceremony or something, and I'll just kind of keep getting these weird images and they'll linger and it doesn't look like there's anything to it. But the more that I'll kind of sit and observe, you know, especially when you're younger, because you really had a different mindset than you do now.
Yeah,
And things were a little bit more traumatizing or hurt my feelings a little bit more than I realized.
sure.
And you know, it's not like it even registered, you know, until you're going,
Hmm.
like, why is this still popping up? It's so weird and random. And you know, it's not like my mind went like, whoa, we'll have to deal with that later, or the emotions. A lot of it is like the physiology and like things in the unconscious. Like you're just
Sure.
kind of not that aware of it until it's really up there. And that's the thing that I would say is with this vagal insufficiency is like those things that just don't seem to like get processed and leave. And part of it is it might not be that we have insufficiency across the board, but in
Hmm.
certain areas, like I would say that it's not because of the event itself, but we had certain predispositions where we're not going to process these areas as well as other areas. You know,
Sure.
I would say that's either the generational thing or the karmic thing.
Oh,
And so it's a way to like go, okay, that's the way we used to do it. That's the before times. Like this is like
yeah.
I'm going to start
Yeah.
doing it now. And usually for myself, when when I go through and you know I do it with an angel, but like here we do it with Raphael, but I also do it with a combination of these two oils. And whenever I do it, you know, there's a way, like, you know, you look at the energy body and, you know, you can go, okay, there's stress and there's good function and there's negative function and there's, you know, thought forms and elementals and projections from other people. But through all of that, whenever I work this karmic or this, excuse me, vagal insufficiency, it
Hmm.
brings to the surface, usually one or two at a time, but a karmic seed, like something
Sure.
where it's buried in your energy body and at a stage of development or light or whatever, or sometimes it's
Sure.
actually even an age, like at a certain age, it comes
Uh-huh.
to the surface and blossoms and blooms, you know. And sometimes it might be positive, but most times they're not positive.
Yeah.
And you know, like a positive version of it would be all of a sudden you have this weird new ability or you're going in this new direction. You're like, God, how did that happen? It was a
Uh-huh.
seed that was in your field. And
Sure.
so the negative ones, usually it's like, okay, this one's got a little drama or a little bit of a struggle or difficulty. And so the more you can clear that seed out, the more
Sure.
you can just go, you know, we're done. Shake hands, walk past it.
Sure.
You're
That, and
just
that's
done. Yeah.
that makes sense because actually what played out was no different than the family system I was from. And I'm sure it's
Mm,
been going on for generations.
sure.
But I love it. Shake hands and walk away. Like,
Yeah.
bye. Thank
Bye.
you. That was really great. Won't be seeing you anymore. And so the pattern you were referring to was the lower legs, kidney, back heart, ajna, back throat, spine, right?
Yeah, it's good to do first, like kind of doing the quadrants, like
Okay.
we did. But then after you've done it once or twice, then you can just like anchor onto the legs and then do
Okay.
kidneys and then back heart.
Okay.
Like when I'm doing it on a person with healing, I'm not working on the heart chakra. I'm working on actually the physical heart.
Okay.
And then you go up to the ajna. And if you think about like in the org programs, the all of the org programming, there's like things that are very straightforward, and there's things that are like a little weird or abstract, or you're like, "Oh, I don't know what this is for, but whatever, right? But if you look at there's a org program for the respiratory system, but then there's one for the sinuses.
Yeah.
Right? The reason why there's one for the sinuses is because of what we're talking about right here, right now. Like it's more than just the sinuses.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's the karmic seed and potentially the
Well,
generational.
it's more of like uh that area is reflective of a state of your nervous system that the more that you can get that regulated, the more your nervous system can like process light
Got it.
and apply the light to particular areas. When
Sure.
area isn't doing well, like light can come in, but we really don't process it. It's like we drink water, but it passes through us. We don't really use it. It's like the light
Sure.
comes in, but it doesn't really get like used. It's just like, it kind of passes through and it has a little effect, but um it doesn't have a deep effect or a long-lasting effect. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Mm. Go ahead, Dan.
Hey, Ian,
Hey, this was good. I
how'd
went through
that make you feel?
oh good. This was like I went through a release of old wounds. You know,
Yeah.
that's what
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I came to mind. I kind of set that intent of releasing wounds and stuff and all these old things and seeing these old patterns from like
Yeah.
way back when. And sometimes how I just feed into them, right? I mean, I kind of set myself for kind of hurting myself,
Well, well, the thing that I would say is like these, like you said, old wounds or seeds or these deep ingrained patterns or, tendencies, whatever they are, is they have a lot of gravity. They have a
Yeah.
lot of gravity. And it's like, you know, that's why sometimes like when we do things where we just try to take like an intellectual viewpoint or like, oh, I'm just going to treat this symptom, it doesn't do anything because intellect can't touch gravity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as you start getting pulled into that gravity, the only thing that you can do is vagal tone your way out of it or intuitive mind your way out of it. Like the survival mode or survival dominance or intellect, none of it can touch that gravity. Like, all it can do is, you know, I don't know, try to micromanage it or whatever. But usually, if anything, we just kind of make up some stories about what's happening as it's happening to kind of bring some sort of comfort. But whatever's going to happen is still going to happen.
What's gonna happen?
Where this is more of like, you know, like you have a certain kind of momentum, like, when you're like in a boat or something, and it's like you have this momentum, and if you just hit the brakes, it doesn't matter because you're still going to move forward because you're in a boat, like you're floating in something, you're not on a road. And like the idea of this is not only can you kind of hit the brakes, you can actually just change direction in a way that is not normal.
Right.
Like in a way, it almost, if it can be done deep enough, it's like you can start bending the laws of nature.
Huh. Because there's kind of like splotches, right? I mean, I get this visualization, kind of like kind of splotchy stuff, and it's like you said that about the gravity. It's almost kind of like a what do they call it? A whirlpool, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
just sucks that in.
yeah.
But you were saying you could kind of like change.
Yeah, you can do it with this, or we are going to talk about it at some point. It's just
uh,
it's kind of an intense conversation, and I don't know if we can do it in a class but we've done the oils. So like you can use Archangel Raphael, or you can use aloes for the four quadrants.
hmm.
And then there
Yeah, I
was
did
an
all those as well.
oil. I
That
don't
was so
remember
nice.
what classes it was in, but it's that oil harnessing light.
Okay. I don't know if I've got that.
It was in, I think, maybe two or three classes even.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Nobody really paid that much attention to it. And it's about this. I mean, because remember how I was saying, like, you're trying to harness light. And,
Yeah,
like when it was in a class, we didn't have enough of a foundation to be able to have the conversation.
at that point, right?
So we still did it therapeutically, but we just didn't do, the conversation that would go along with it.
Yeah, the bridge to it, right?
Mhm.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I want to thank you too for the Om Mani Padme Hum. It's my new thing, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Isn't it nice?
So it
Yeah.
is like really, really yeah, it's
Yeah.
soothing. It's soothing. Yeah.
I'll be releasing more about that, like in written form, but like towards the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's okay to do that driving, right?
Like I started going yes, and then I'd be careful with that.
Because it
Like
just
you could just do Om Mani Padme Hum, but like the thing is when you're doing mantras, you're really trying to get yourself to go into like a deeper state of vagal tone and intuition. And like when you're driving, you're not really allowing yourself to do
to
it.
do that. That's true.
Yeah, so like you could do a little bit of a mantra sometimes just to like go, oh, I'm staying calm, but I would say I wouldn't make it a big habit because like if it really starts to work, you might space out in traffic or
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah.
And so
You
um
don't really want to get into a shamanistic zone when you're kind of like
right,
right
right,
in the
right,
middle
right.
of
Yeah,
yeah, a lot
yeah,
of movement. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Great.
So,
Yeah. Thanks again for all these
yeah,
gems.
you're so welcome.
Yeah, these are great. Thank you.
Somebody's asking, what's the significance doing the lower lakes immediate? Yeah, so because immediately I felt super calm, saw dark blue and peacock feathers. Wonderful experience.
Yeah, you're cleaning up like just gunk from the past. Like, when we think something or feel something, when we think something repetitively or we feel something, we attract energy from the environment, the elements, and some of it's in our field, but a lot of it is below our feet. And even when we inherit something from generations prior or it's a karmic thing, a lot of it and all the things that we've done in our life, the things that we've cultivated, all of it's below our feet. And so it's a way of cleaning that up a little bit and then like shifting, because it's not just we want to transmute our physiology, our emotions, and our mind, but we want to stand on better ground than we were on before. And like if you kind of think about it like that, you just want to stand on like higher ground or clearer ground or whatever it might be.
And go ahead, Lorraine.
Hey, Lorraine.
So thank you so much. I would say I feel so spaced out. It's hard for me to even put any words to what I'm experiencing. But the question I do have is what is the difference between using the regular oil and premium oils that
Well,
you
the
make?
premium is just a bit stronger. Like sometimes it accesses like a different part of the angel or archangel, and so usually the the premium oils are using like kind of fancy oils that tend to be really heady. And so I would say that a lot of types, my experience is that like the regular oils will hit the physiology, the emotions, and the mind somewhat. And the premium oils kind of do that, but they hit the mind and even up a little higher. Like it helps to access, um, higher states, which is still something you're processing through your nervous system. So, it's still hitting your physiology. It's just hitting like a different, not even a different part, almost like a different depth of the nervous system.
Yeah, I look forward to working with this process more. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
And it is a cumulative process. Like the more you do it, even like you said, and you did four or five here, and then you go, okay, and then it's a week and you go next time. It's like you pick up where you left off. It's not like you're sliding back and forth and like, and then I'm stressed out. It's more about like shifting your physiology. So, you could do it for like a week and then not think about it for a month, and then you get in and do it again. Most likely that what you did or where you kind of shifted to a little bit usually doesn't backslide, because really it's almost like you're increasing like a processing potential, and all you did was like kind of fine tune like what it could handle. And it's like you go a month again without doing it, it's like the station didn't change. It's still on that same station playing that same station. And so you know we do it with oils. Here we do it with an angel. There's times where we do it with ceremony. Like I have tools and things that I use for this. And, I'll do it kind of intensely for a little bit. And then I'm like, I'm kind of good for a while. Like, it's like it needs to like acclimate or like process. And then I might not do it for a few months, and then it's like, well, I think it's time again. And then there's other pieces that could augment or go along with it. And so even that idea that we did with the angel heart and that class was tied to like supporting this process that we're working right now, you know yeah. And I think that's the class we're teaching in Chicago, isn't it? Angel Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're going to be teaching that class in Chicago.
Will that be a 2-day class? The 2-day?
Yes. Yeah. When
Oh,
we're up there at the end of, I think it's the end of September, or is it there October?
oh, that's
Portland's
exciting.
October. Yeah.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
And someone shared when we focus on the spine, or is asking, when we focus on the spine, do we include the vertebrae in the neck as a part of the spine, or just the spine start below the neck?
Yeah. So I would say it in layers, right? If you can go from the spine, the top of your vertebrae in your neck, right? The base of your skull, go all the way down to the low back, right? If your awareness is good, you can even go all the way to the bottom of the tailbone. Now, if you have a hard time putting your awareness on that whole area and it's like, oh, it's jumping around, do that area between your shoulder blades and your mid back. Like if you can only go, I can't really hold the whole thing, at least do between the shoulder blades and the mid back. Then if you can go up into the neck, better. If you can go into the low back, better. If you can go to the bottom of the spine, even better. It's more important to do a a portion of it well rather than doing the whole thing mediocre, if that makes sense.
When inhaling on the back heart, if we go an inch or two, are we on the spine or in front of the spine? Not sure where to put
Not really so much about the physiology as you're trying to go deeper into the physical heart. And so just if you just try to go like deep, you won't be able to direct the energy very well. So it's about just kind of going below the surface into the body a little bit. And there your nervous system can process it. So it's not so much about it's touching the spine or it's not touching the spine. Just go in a little bit. And then if you can, after a little bit, go in a little deeper. Like intellectually, we can go deep, right? But intuition wise, we have to do a lot of little movements. And so you're taking a step, and it's a little harder on the backside than the front side. So just take a little step and then just sit with it for a while because you need that step to like kind of open up and expand, right? So then you take another little step, but on the back, it takes a while. So just try going in just a little tiny bit and then sitting with it. Yeah, so
Oh, that's interesting.
try that. Yeah. Easier to do it from the front, but here, because of what we're trying to do, we do have to access it from the back.
Well, it's funny you say that because sometimes it does feel like I literally get sucked into the heart from the front.
Right.
And then the back, it has a completely different kind of energy dynamic.
Right.
So, okay.
Yeah, sometimes like going in the back, it's like you're standing in the desert going, I heard there's water around here somewhere. It's hard to go deep in the back heart. It really is.
Someone said, I'm feeling this in my left kidney area. Is it just clogged energy or do I need to do it again?
I would say it could be that something's processing out, especially if there is like projections from other people. A lot of times it will hit the lower leg area, but it will hit the kidneys actually kind of hard. And so, like going through and doing this, it helps to flush things out from other people quite substantially. Like it's not so much that it fleshes out the like if somebody was projecting a bunch of things at you, it's not so much that it flushes out the projections, it almost flushes out the effects of those projections. And so part of what you're doing is you're just unwinding. It's like you're cleaning the house up after a tornado or something. It's like, okay, put that up there, put that up there, nail some more nails into this board and, put the door back on the hinge and, that kind of stuff. And so you might need to give the kidneys a little bit of attention, but a lot of times if you just keep cycling through this, if you keep cycling through it, a lot of times that will resolve itself.
They said makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. I think those were the
Okay.
shares and questions.
So we have a little bit of time. So we're going to do it. And this time we're going to do it with oils and a little toning at the same time. So your awareness is on your legs, your lower legs. And as you're inhaling, your awareness is on the lower legs. Keep inhaling as I tone the name of the angel. Ro, fo, o, ro, fo, o. Ro, fo, o. Your awareness is on the kidneys. Ro, fo, o. Ro, fo, o. Your awareness is on the back heart, that area between the shoulder blades. Ro, fo, o. Ro, fo, o. The ajna, the area between the eyebrows. Ro, fo, o. Ro, fo, o. your back throat. Roll, fall, roll, fall, you're just letting go. Your awareness is on the spine. Roll, fall, roll, fall, roll, fall, roll, fall, Yeah, I hope you guys had a good session tonight. You can do this practice on your own. We'll have the recordings. And next week is going to be the Archangel Raphael. So, very different vibe with Raphael. Also one of the archangels, but different vibe. So we're going to move over to the Tuesday night prayer petition blessing. So join us if you can. We usually work a little of the angel in with our session, but this is where we bless the prayer petitions and things just going on in the world. So thanks for joining us. Hopefully you can join us for the Tuesday night prayer petition thing. We've posted the link, and if not, hopefully we see you next week.